The Philly Fed Index. Now, the Philly Fed Index is a measure of manufacturing expectations, and this survey is conducted by the Philadelphia branch of the Federal Reserve. Now, every month, top manufacturers are surveyed for their expectations and current conditions, and this data is then used to develop a numerical index called the Philly Fed Index. And a positive or rising value for this index, that is a value above zero, is seen as positive for the economy, as more manufacturing equals more growth. So whenever we have a Philly Fed index value above zero, this is seen as positive for the manufacturing sector. Okay, and whenever we have a Philly Fed value below zero, this is seen as negative for the manufacturing sector. Okay, so the Philly Fed Index is an important indicator that can be used to give you insight into whether the U.S. manufacturing sector is doing poorly or whether the U.S. manufacturing sector is doing good. So we can use the Philly Fed Index to give us a good idea of what to expect for the PMI, the Purchasing Managers Index. That is one way you can use the Philly Fed Index. You can use the Philly Fed Index to give you an idea of what to expect for the PMI. And the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index is released before the PMI, before the Purchasing Managers Index, okay? You can use the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index to give you a good idea of what to expect for the PMI. So remember, the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, this is a very important indicator because it gives you an idea of how well the U.S. manufacturing sector is doing. Okay, and remember, more manufacturing equals more growth. More growth equals rising inflation, and rising inflation equals higher interest rates. And whenever a country increases its interest rate, the value of that country's currency increases. The Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, also called the Philly Fed Survey.